Former Minnesota Vikings running back Dalvin Cook has finally found a new home. We'll reveal that right after this. But if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for us. Like the video if you enjoy what you see here. And ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we have coming up here as we move on to the regular season. Let's get into the video. Pro Bowl running back, formerly for the Minnesota Vikings since 2017, has finally found a new home after the Minnesota Vikings released him this last offseason. Now he's been on a couple of visits. I know there was quite a few teams interested, but at the end of the day, the one team that it sounded most likely that he was going to sign with is the team he ended up signing with, and that of course is Gangrene, the New York Jets. Tom Pelissero, Minnesota native, four-time Pro Bowler Dalvin Cook is signing with the Jets on a one-year deal. Cook always wanted to land in New York. Now he teams up with former NFC North rival Aaron Rodgers, with all eyes on the Super Bowl. I saw somewhere it's a one year, $8.6 million contract for Dalvin. Obviously, this is weird because everybody thought Miami was kind of the place. He had talked about it before. It's his hometown. It really felt like it was just fait accompli. It was going to happen. He was going to leave here and he was going to go to Miami, even though they did sign a couple other running backs. I don't think the money ever quite worked out with Miami, but obviously he found what he wanted here with the Jets. What are your thoughts on this? What I want to ask you is $8.6 million. Would you have wanted the Vikings to pay him $8.6 million?
$8.6 million. What was the offer? Wasn't it said that we were offering him $7-ish million? So. Yeah. I mean, first off, I want to say that I am happy for Dalvin Cook. I do think he deserves 8.6. Do I think the Vikings should? Probably not, because I believe enough in what we have in Madison and Ty Chandler at this point. So, I mean, 8.6, I would have done it 1 year, 8.6 million. I think we could have handled that, but obviously the Vikings had different plans. So 8.6 million in his pocket. I'm glad he got that. I'm glad he held his own for a little bit to go get at least somewhat what he deserves. I think a lot of these running backs probably deserve, as for how much they put their bodies on the line, they probably even deserve more than that for sure. But with everything that's going on with running backs, it's not a surprising situation. So I don't know. I think as your question, answer your question, probably not. I think I'm feeling comfortable with what we're going into this season with, especially, I mean, if we ended up getting Kareem Hunt or something like that too, which nothing's came from that visit as far as we know now, then I think we have enough at running back. Anyways, though, Dalvin Cook with Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, I think is really interesting. I mean, you play against two of the better players on the respective teams in the divisions for the last, 5-6 years, whatever. And then they come together on the Jets. I think that's really interesting. I'm also really wondering how this is going to work for Dalvin Cook exactly. I know Breece Hall looked fantastic as a rookie until his injury. He had a torn ACL, right?
Yep.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Torn ACL, and he's coming. I believe he's coming back. I don't know. I haven't checked on what the timetable is for sure on him, but it makes sense for the Jets to go get a guy like Dalvin Cook just in case. But at the same time, if Breece Hall does come back healthy, I am interested to know what Dalvin Cook's role in this offense will be. I know last season, as for Viking fans who watch a lot of these games, you didn't see as much production out of Dalvin Cook between the tackles, especially like those short yardage situations. And I don't know enough about Breece Hall, but he seems very like an agile pass catch first type of running back. And I don't know how productive he is between the tackles as well. So part of me feels like you might bring Dalvin Cook in there to kind of be more of that type of player potentially, which I'm not sure if he'll be able to fill that role as much as they would like. But overall, I mean, I like it. I think I'd rather have seen Dalvin Cook go with Miami. I like Breece Hall a lot. I do think there's going to be some I don't think he's going to get as much playing opportunity as he would with the Dolphins compared to the Jets if Breece Hall is healthy. But what do you think on all that stuff?
I mean, I understand why he did it. I mean, I do think the Jets with Aaron Rodgers and everything else they've added that team.
Yeah, and it's a Super Bowl. That's a
Super Bowl than Miami
Super Bowl
is, and at this point, I think that's kind of what he's in it for. And again, you can't blame him.
True that. It's 8.4 millions in a Super Bowl a chance at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's going to be really weird though watching him take handoffs from Aaron Rodgers. I will say that. But like you said, I feel like the production did drop a little bit last year. I mean, obviously he still has the big explosive plays, but overall production, he wasn't as elusive as he was in years past. I mean, there's a lot of shoestring tackles that he normally would slip out of that I've noticed a decline in the last couple seasons, but he's obviously still a good player. He does still have that explosiveness. And I think this signing for sure, I mean, if you want to talk about a team that is gunning for the Super Bowl, yeah, Breece Hall, it's uncertain when he'll be back. So you can't like risk it with a couple. I mean, obviously I shouldn't say no name running backs because I mean that's kind of been the big thing is you don't pay running backs because you can get some no name running backs. But I mean, that team outside of him, who do they even have? Who do they have?
I think that Michael Carter is still there.
Probably, and then something Knight. Is it? I can't remember what his first name was.
I forgot. I forget his full
Zonovan
name.
Knight? Is that what it was?
Something like that.
Anyway,
definitely close.
But I mean, if you're a team gunning for a Super Bowl and you have the money, you can't just say, "Well, wait till Breece Hall gets back and hope." You gotta if you think that this is the guy that's going to keep you at this level until Breece Hall comes back, maybe go above that. You got to do it, especially if you are going to gun for the Super Bowl. Like look at the Vikings. Like Kwesi, he's making small signings, but the small signings are positions that we need. Like it's just like we can't afford to not have people at this position, and I think that's really how the Jets do feel with the running back spot. Is they need somebody to come in there with all the weapons they have on that offense. You need a good running back to at least keep you there till Breece Hall comes around. And then, I mean, Dalvin and Breece Hall, that feels like a really, really solid 1-2 punch.
That is extremely solid 1-2 punch. Yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the Jets. Luckily, only because they're AFC. If they were NFC, this would be a whole different ball game. But, I can root for the Jets. They're the Jets. I don't care enough. And for Dalvin, Dalvin Cook's always going to be a Viking first. So I'm going to root for that guy to the end of his career. So I'm glad he went somewhere, got the money he was looking for, and a chance to get a Super Bowl run as well, even if he has to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I almost feel like we don't need to hate Aaron Rodgers as much as we used to because he's not for the stupid Packers anymore. He's doing his own thing in New York. And honestly, I think it would be hilarious to watch him win a Super Bowl. Whatever, but he's not going
this
to
year, though,
because we all know Dalvin Cook and Aaron Rodgers are going to be in the Super Bowl against your Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
and they're going to lose to Kirk Cousins.
That's right.
Alexander Madison and Ty Chandler and the rest of the gang. Justin Jefferson, we all know it. But anyway, so Dalvin Cook finds his new home, lands with the New York Jets on a 1-year contract. Let us know what you think. Are you going to miss Dalvin? Is it going to be weird seeing him play with Aaron Rodgers? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time on the G Sports Podcast.
Skol Vikes.